Proposed concrete waste storage for our farm is essential in order to continue to be responsible stewards of the land. We apply manure to our land to replace the nutrients taken by the growing crops. We use waste storage to contain our supply, which allows us to apply it to the land when weather conditions are most favorable. Since temperamental North Country weather impedes us from being able to apply manure on our fields every day, storage is considered a best management practice by both agriculture and environmental organizations. I personally reached out to the town zoning officer, Mike Sorensen, to not only notify him, but to confirm that nothing more needed to be done in the way of permits, announcements, or regulations. We have confirmed that there are no nearby wells complied with the requirements.
No one knew about this, no one was privy to the 2 years of planning that have been going forward, so it really caught people by surprise. And when the town and others have reached out for information, other than you, Greg, who pointed me to some other people for that information, we haven't been able to get any information. And so I think from a town person's perspective, having this meeting, it's really nice to be able to have some feedback and be able to have this dialogue, because I think everyone in this room see a lot of farmers of various sizes, small, large, and I think what everyone understands and appreciates how important agriculture is to our community and it's thriving our whole county. And in order for everyone to win, we need to work together and help each other so that these environmental steps can be taken to contain nutrients so that it's not running off, but also to make sure that the community planning is done so that it can be win-win for everybody. And I'm really glad that we're having this dialogue so that that can happen and there doesn't need to be hesitation or people feeling that they're being attacked. That's certainly not what's going on here. I do have some questions because this is being built in a watershed. As you know, this runs down towards Sandy Creek. One question. My question is, with 41 properties owned by Porterdale Farm in the county, how is this site selected for this project? And were there less ecologically sensitive sites where this nutrient management system could have gone?
Well, I guess ideally, the reason why this site was selected is because there are barns there, there's animals there. They're year-round animals. So during the winter months, there isn't adequate storage. So the point is, the corners are looking at doing something that's better for the environment by putting a storage in place to store those nutrients during the winter.
But there is this perception among other smaller farmers and landowners that sometimes, especially when there's no communication, that these big farms can place structures in places that will devalue other properties. Because we know right now it's hard to find more land to farm, especially if you're expanding or trying to expand. So there's a perception out there, and I don't think that this is true, and I don't think it's true in this case either. But there's a perception that a farm can put a structure which will devalue the surrounding properties, which will allow them to acquire these properties at a lower value. And that's a perception problem. And one of the things that I was hoping the town could come up with is a very minimal notification process. And I understand in farming, doing any kind of government paperwork is a big pain in the butt. But there's also this coordination between farms and businesses and the community that if it were done, then there wouldn't be perceptions that grow that may be totally, unbiased.
Are you getting around? Do you have a question?
The question is well, it's a statement, but it's also a question of, is there any process in the review of these structures that takes those things into consideration? That is the structure going to devalue surrounding properties?
Well, we don't have, I can't answer.
Right,
Are you asking me the question?
No, I'm asking, who did the site
There's,
evaluation? And
I
is that
think
part of the
Well,
process?
if you look at the situation, most of these farms, not just Porters, where they're constructing these structures, they own significant acreage in that area. It's not like they're only owning 10 acres and they're gonna build a manure pit there to do as you say. On that side of the river, how many thousand acres?
750.
Right, right, on that side of the river, that's what they're owning, so, I mean, I don't see where
Well,
they're gonna devalue property. You know, they've got significant land base there to go
If
from.
you move to structure, let's say,
We're not gonna discuss, we're not gonna debate, you've asked your question, I
Okay.
think it's been answered. Okay, thank you. Anybody else?